Good evening. Glory days. There was a time when I was trapped to this stage, wrapped in this cage, but now these glory days are gone, like a flipped page. There were days when I owned this stage. I crafted lines that ensured that I parted the Red Sea with my lines, led people to the promised land which flows with milk and honey. You see, every time I was introduced, the audience knew that Chayahdeep-Trapped and Chayah, which is my ink in my pen was blood of a dragon. So you know I would spit fire. Dare bring Khaleesi to this Game of Thrones, meant Dracarys on the audience, bringing the heat every time I speak, making sure these lines match like a stick. I made sure that these lines sounded the same until the audience looked forward to my name. Scratch that. I created environments with my presence. See, my wordplay was so slick, slitting wrists with slippery splits, making you sick real quick. Your spirit needed an awakening, and I was the alarm clock you can never turn off. Try to snooze and watch yourself lose, but I was trapped to this stage. Wrapped in this cage, but now these glory days are gone, like a flip page. You see, these words were like bullets in my mouth. So this machine gun, Kelly took an aim. Do not fear, Shady. I was steady. With my flows were heavy. I was ready to stand in front of audiences that would watch me burn for what I believed in. I stood in front of audiences that would make you work for their snaps. But I never lost track, so please don't snap. Even if my poems sound bittersweet, I never forgot my lines. I never forgot my lines. I freestyled like I'm doing now because these poems were tattooed to my heart. You see, I made this stage a circus. When I came up with poems like, hi, my name is Sin, and I praised Judas with a kiss, but this tag of war had me tagging crowds like, tag, you're it. Like from the beginning, I was creating from the dust an image that looked like me, an exact imitation of what looked like me until I would look at myself in the mirror. Then I realized that I was just the clay, and the potter was right at the top of things, molding me into a poet that would bring good news. He gave me my assignment and it was set. My name was given. Every time I would recite, my king was glorified. Every time slot was just an opportunity to exercise exorcism to those who expedite evil like an exhibit. I exemplified excessive hypocrites who sought to pretend that life was simple when in fact extreme. I showed the audience that it's the cross that covers their sin. I was never trapped to this stage. I just set traps that showed the audience that God uses creativity to remind them that it is Him they need, and this cage I was wrapped in was to remind me that I too was abused by Satan, and being in a relationship with Him leads to death. So tonight, I hope your soul sees that redemption is free, but the wages of sin are paid at a fee. Many wish I can return to my glory days, to when I owned this stage. But my time is gone and the page is flipped. And maybe one day I'll stand in front of an audience. But you best believe that back in the day when Elohim gave me a chance to represent Him, I made sure only His name was left remembered on this stage.